to Jamal.
Hey, Liam. Um, it seemed like yesterday you were able to open up the playbook a little bit and you guys were able to get some misdirection plays going and just things of that nature. How much fun do you have as a play caller when you're able to dial it up and trick the defense?
Yeah, I think the key was, having been on schedule with no negative plays. Really, we had two negative plays total on the day. I know it maybe looks like I've got asked this now two or three times that, new plays, and because none of these plays were new. So they were plays that we've had on the call sheet or that we've been kind of having repping that, you can get off and you can get, on schedule and stay on schedule for extended period of times, allowed us to be able to, execute some calls that we had ready to go and had practiced for the last few weeks. So great job by the guys staying on schedule, playing physically, moving the chains, running the football the way we did. That definitely makes it more fun to be able to go call it and just, have the confidence as a play caller, knowing that when you are executing at a high level, you don't, it doesn't matter what the play is called, they're going to go and make it work. And a lot of that was showed up yesterday.
Thank you.
Jamal, followed by D-Rock.
Hey Liam, you said yesterday that the team plays better pissed off. Can you play pissed every week? Can you play pissed after a win?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately we now owe it to each other to play that way for the rest, for the rest of the year as much as possible, right? And we'll see what the result is. Like that's got to be our mindset as a team, is like we owe it to each other now to put that on tape as much as possible for the remainder of the season and let the results be what they may. And if we can approach it that way and find the, inner mindset every week that you have to get yourself in a position to go compete like that every week as a team, and each player has to get themselves there, and it's our jobs to get the units there. So hopefully we can understand that moving forward.
And what have you seen from Tootin? That was the most work he's gotten. I mean, what did he do to earn your trust, or was it just kind of riding the hot hand a little bit?
Yeah, we were just, both those guys were in and out. I mean, we ran it 47 times, so you're just naturally not trying to put too much on one guy, that, one way or the other. So I thought, Toot ran hard. He ran downhill, a couple third down runs, got us vertical. He did a really nice job, and then obviously so did TJ and LaQuinn. But Toot has been practicing better and better, and as much as we can continue to get him involved, the better our offense is.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
D-Rock, followed by O'Halloran.
Hey, Liam, are you enjoying the process of going through and learning about the team with each, situation, new situation that they're in and you're in? And what's been sort of the most interesting or rewarding part of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the journey of being in this role and being in this, organization, right? Being in this opportunity is you're able to learn every week. And as we know in life, just like football, the best lessons usually come when you go through something hard. And so that not only helps us as players and as coaches and as a team, but it helps us as people grow and learn. And that's ultimately what the essence of sport does. And so that is what we've talked about a lot. And for me personally, in my first time doing this job, you're able to learn about the people you're associated with, the people that are in your building, the kind of players that you have, what they're made of, and what makes these guys respond and what helps them get to the place where we have to get to mentally to go play a game like that we just did. And you're finding new things about your team every week. So it is part of the journey. You want to be able to see that kind of level of execution and passion and energy every week. That's the standard. That's the opportunity we have. And that's the challenge, though, of coaching and playing in the NFL, is doing it week in and week out.
A lot of the guys on this roster were here, obviously, last year when it was not great. Do you get a sense from those guys of maybe a bigger appreciation for what's happening right now than maybe some of the other guys who never didn't go through that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think a number of players, I spoke to this past week that were on the team last year, that we needed to have some just good, honest, open conversations throughout the week. And A number of those guys did respond this past week with the right, mindset and mentality, and want to do right and want to help be a part of change and help be a part of why, the reason why we continue to hopefully elevate and raise the standard here. So, I know playing meaningful games in November and December are earned opportunities. And the way that we go and approach each week is what gives us the opportunity and gives us that right. And ultimately, I think everybody that's been here or that is here now, new, whatever, rookies, free agents, I think we all see how we have to prepare and play for us to have success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
O'Halloran, followed by Shipley.
Liam, couple for you. You guys ran middle toss a couple times to both Toot and ETN. What do you like about that play and the options it gives them?
Yeah, it just gets the ball back a little bit deeper to them immediately. Gets the ball in their hands with more depth than just maybe a handoff does sometimes. And now it gives the defense maybe an illusion that it's going wider than it is. And it was able to then kind of wind back as it was designed as a tight zone run. So, it helps get the second and third level maybe a little bit more lateral with the motion that was kind of associated with it, and then bringing the other tight end back across to create some misdirection inside to make their eyes get a little bit dirtier than maybe you're really making it. So it was definitely a good job by our offensive line coaches and run game guys kind of coming up with a scheme and the players going and executing at a high level.
Last one for me. You got Ezra Cleveland back yesterday. How impressed have you been with A, his level of play, and B, just his overall toughness playing through his injury?
Yeah, really proud of Ezra. We needed him. He responded. He's violent. He wants to play. He's explosive. He's one of our most explosive players on the team. He showed that in the offseason workouts. Ezra wants to play with a mean streak and kind of beat you in a phone booth. And he has the opportunity to do that. He can beat you at the second level. And he had some great finishes on some runs down the field, especially late in that game on the last drive, where he's finishing guys about 5-7 yards down the field. So needed him, stepped up in a big way, and going to continue to need that moving forward from Ezra.
Right. Thanks, Liam.
Thank you.
Shipley.
Hey Liam, thanks for doing this. What did you guys see throughout the week in Danny and BJ to, kind of want them to be in that expanded role? And then what did you see from them yesterday after you went back through the film?
I mean, Danny, BJ, Quentin Morris, it's the epitome of what you want your team to be is guys earning the right via special teams, playing their asses off on special teams, doing their job in practice, doing their job every day, earning the opportunities on special teams, playing well, and then earning an opportunity to impact the game on Sundays on offense or defense. I mean, that's it. That's what it should be. That's how it has to be. And that's how you earn time here. And those guys have earned it. They've earned it in practice every single day. And it showed up on Sunday where these guys are impacting the game in a positive way. And they earn those opportunities. And that's the way, our team needs to continue to build off of.
Thanks, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Wiggins.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for taking my question. With some of the guys like Anton and BT and Jordan on the sideline, watching that yesterday, have you spoken to any of them about exactly how they can reingratiate themselves into the lineup, and are they excited about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys, they're trying to get back. I know they both were trying to get back in the fray this week, and we'll take it day by day and week by week with those guys. But I think they saw a team that they obviously want to be associated with, they want to be involved in, they want to go help make plays for, and do it for 4 quarters. And ultimately that message is going to continue to be sent throughout the locker room and spread throughout this building, is that, hey man, we've got to play pissed off and efficient and execute like that for 4 quarters. Everybody, that's the standard. And ultimately, if you're not able to do that, then, hey, that's the case. It is what it is. But everybody, I think, wants to be involved and as much as those guys do as well.
That was our last one. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
This meeting is being recorded.
We can get started if you're ready to go, Danny.
Yep.
Okay. We can start with Justin and move to Shipley.
Hey, Danny, thank you for doing this. I know I talked to you about it a few weeks ago, but seeing Josh yesterday break that record at this point in your career, kind of just what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, it's cool to be a part of such a big moment for him. I mean, I get to see all the behind the scenes stuff of how he works and what he puts in, not just on Sundays, but every day throughout the week on and off the field. It's cool to kind of see him have that moment and, get to be a part of that with the rest of the guys in the room because we all know that, he deserves it. He's a guy that's very deserving of, holding that honor, and he's going to continue to build upon it.
And this might be a little weird, so sorry if it is, but I'm assuming you're one of the guys that go up against the first team offense at practice. When you see them install kind of like a new play or a trick play or misdirection play, have you ever kind of just sat and thought about just how creative Liam is and how that's how the ball gets that done?
Yeah, definitely. There's some plays that we see and we're like, "Ah, I haven't seen that one before." And it's cool to see it in practice, and then you go watch the offense during the game and they run the same play and it works really well. And you're like, oh, okay, so I see what's unfolding now. But yeah, it's awesome to be able to go up against those guys in practice every day. Obviously, it makes us better on the show team, but also it's cool just to see them practicing that stuff. They're tuned into the details and everything, and then you go see them executed on Sundays. It really shows how locked in those guys are, the coaching staff, the players, everybody that's part of the execution of that. It's cool to see those things unfold on Sundays.
Thank you, man.
Don Shipley.
Hey, Danny, thanks for doing this. Just how big has the rest of that defensive line room been for you, just knowing that there are veterans like Josh and Trayvon and Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked. I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but having such a heavy veteran presence in that room has been huge for us young guys, and just being able to absorb the knowledge that's in that room. I mean, these guys have seen so much football, and I've joked around with some of them about when they played where I was when they played their first NFL snap, and some of them it was like you were in the NFL before I played my first varsity snap in high school. So I like to joke around with them about that. But on a serious note, it's there's so much information in there, and they've forgotten more about the game than I've seen. And so it's awesome to be able to just hear the way they think, hear how they see the game, and then have them pass down some information that can be super helpful for me early on in my NFL career.
And then Liam said yesterday he felt like the trenches were kind of the deciding factor in the game. When there's a game like that, can you kind of tell early on when like the defensive line is just going to have one of those days?
I think you don't really realize it in the game. It's more so when you go back and look at it on film, like the D line was clicking really well yesterday. They were rushing together. In the run game, we were working really well together. You don't really, obviously you feel it. You feel the success out there. But you're still thinking, that next play mentality, good play, bad play, next play. It's really when you go watch the film, it's like, okay, how did this set up this and how did this set up this? You kind of see, how well the group was clicking, how well the defense and the team was clicking all day when you go back and watch the tape. But when you're out there, you're really just trying to stay keyed in to the next play because, if you ride those highs and lows, that's when you start to make mistakes and you start to not play as fast. So you just try to stay locked in to that next play mentality.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions for Danny before we let him go? All right. You're all set. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.